Fox, home of Super Bowl 31.
The Redskins have won the toss in their match against the Cowboys. This battle for first place in the NFC East. The Redskins are in first place. The Cowboys trying to tie up, and Chris Bonio will kick off for the Cowboys to Brian Mitchell and William Bell back deep for Washington. Glad you're with us, and happy Thanksgiving Day one more time. Thank you. We don't say enough. Bonio approaches. It will be Brian Mitchell at the 2-yard line. He can always be dangerous and is always dangerous. Stopped by Billy Davis. Let's look at the Washington offense. Gus Frerotte. You can see him maturing as the weeks pass. Better and better behind a good offensive line. Patton, Johnson, Ulenek, Dahl, and Ordanish. Terry Allen, Mark Logan behind Frerotte, Westbrook and Ellard, the wide receivers, and Jamie Asher, another star emerging at tight end. Frerotte and the Redskins take over from their own 30. 2 tight ends. Allen, a couple. Stopped by Leon Lett. There have been all kind of rumors circulating about Leon Lett. He might be suspended. The Cowboys, Barry Switzer said to us yesterday, I don't want to know what's going on. Nothing is going on as of yet. The secondary, the 2 best cornerbacks perhaps, although there are those who would argue, in football. 2nd and 7. Allen got 3. Frerotte back to throw. Flag on the play. The pass is wild and incomplete. Nobody was open, and Frerotte threw it away, intended, I think, for Michael Westbrook.
Yeah, well, Westbrook went down. Kevin Smith was on him. We were talking to Kevin Smith yesterday, and he says when those big receivers get on you, he said you have to give them a tug once in a while. That means holding. Kevin Smith is arguing. We did see the end of the play where Westbrook did go down.
Bernie Kukar, the referee. Barry Switzer, obviously very upset by whatever's about to happen.
Well, illegal shift on the offense. Man in motion. The lineman is going down. We got holding. Number 21 on the defense. Penalties offset. 2nd down.
21 is Deion Sanders. Was he in the middle of that? I didn't see him.
No, he wasn't in the middle of it. The middle of it was Kevin Smith and Michael Westbrook. Michael Westbrook went out of the game after that play. The illegal shift was the offensive lineman not getting set for a second.
As Leslie Shepard enters. Terry Allen the carry, and he is met by Leon Lett again.
But here's the thing. This is going to be a heck of a matchup today. Big Trey Johnson, number 77, big offensive lineman against Leon Lett. Leon Lett wins that one.
Oh.
I mean, he takes them out. In fact, it started as a double team. Jeff Ulenek, the center, and Trey Johnson both win in Leon Lett. He took them both on. Ulenek comes off. Then he comes off of Trey Johnson to make a heck of a play.
The big cat got a stalemate with the double team and then shed it.
And then whipped the single team.
Frerotte back to throw. Gets it out to Shepard. He will not get the first down. George Teague with the defensive play.
You know, I think sometimes you talk so much about this Dallas Cowboy offense, and you talk about all those things, you forget their defense. Their defense is #1 in the league. And look at the big cat here. Look at Leon Lett. He is fired up today. He's playing like a man possessed out there now. Because, you know, Trey Johnson is one of the better offensive guards in this league.
And one of the biggest, if not the biggest.
But he has a tough time using your strength against quickness.
Matt Turk back to punt. Kelvin Martin deep for Dallas, back at the 7-yard line. Kelvin Martin, still dodging, is down at the 18. Derek Brownlow, ex-Cowboy, down to make the stop. Troy Aikman brings the Cowboy offensive unit onto the field. Aikman, 7'5" as a starter this year. The veteran big offensive line in front of him. Tournay, Newton, Donaldson, Allen, and Williams. Emmett Smith will start. Darrell Johnston, the blocker for him. Kevin Williams, Irvin, and Ty J. Armstrong opening at tight end. Irvin comes right. Armstrong goes in motion. Aikman gives to Emmett Smith. No gain. Maybe with that last surge, he did get a gain. Rod Stevens made the stop. Let's look at the Redskin defense. The front four: Owens, Gilbert, Boutte, and Dexter Nottage. The linebackers: Patton, Stevens, and Harvey. And in the secondary, Brian Walker gets a start. Tom Carter and Darrell Green, the corners. Stanley Richard, the safety. 2nd and 7. Emmett Smith. Emmett Smith gets a first down.
Yeah, there's another matchup, Pat, on the other side. It's big Nate Newton against Sean Gilbert. And I'll tell you, they started a double. Ray Donaldson and Nate Newton started double. Here's Nate right here. Here's Sean Gilbert here. That's the side that they're going to run to. Boom, he hits in there. Ray Donaldson starts. They get Sean Gilbert turned. Stay with it, stay with it, stay with it. And then Emmett Smith runs right by it.
Eric Bjornsson into the Cowboy lineup. He's the tight end on the right. Aikman back to throw it. Under pressure, and down goes Aikman. Ken Harvey was first there. The protection broke down.
But Ken Harvey, you look here now, sometimes he plays like a lineman, but here he's playing like a linebacker. He's over Bjornsson, and he's just going to come on a blitz. Moose Johnston has to block him. He just makes a move on Moose and runs right by him.
Pressure from the other side by Gilbert.
Sean Gilbert was on the inside coming up there. Here's the pressure. Darrell Green, one of the great ones on Michael Irvin, man-to-man.
2nd down and long, and Aikman back to throw it. Gilbert right in his face. Screen pass attempted to Emmett Smith unsuccessfully.
Well, these tackles are raising havoc, aren't they? We saw Leon Lett do it, and then the Cowboys get the ball, and Sean Gilbert does it to them. On the sack just before that, and that's a screen pass. Now, on a screen pass, you really don't want to block the guy for a long time, but you have to bump him more than this.
You got to slow him down.
Sean Gilbert right here, and he just takes an inside move on Nate Newton. He doesn't even slow him down. And now there's nothing Troy Aikman can do, even though it was just a short screen pass.
3rd and 21. 4 wide receivers for Dallas. Aikman to throw it. Protection not bad this time. Intended for Kelvin Martin, incomplete. And the Cowboys will have to punt. The defender was Carter.
Good coverage there by Tom Carter. He comes up over the top and doesn't even hit the guy. You watch him here. See, they get a good bump. And now really the ball is thrown there, and Carter comes in up over the top. And I don't know, maybe he did bump him a little on the way to the ball.
Maybe so.
But I think in a big game like this and in this type of thing, they're going to let some of those things go. And most of the time, I feel they should.
Jet back to punt it. Mitchell got some room. Had some room. Hit from behind by Charlie Williams, who had overrun the play and then came back. Nothing at Texas Stadium. Happy Thanksgiving. Back at Texas Stadium in Irving, Texas. Nothing score. The Cowboys Redskins. Gus Frerotte back to throw. Has some time. Gets it to his tight end, Jamie Asher. And Asher, who's been hot in recent weeks, gets it all the way down to the Dallas 24.
Yeah, that's the area that Gus Frerotte thought he was going to be able to work. Norv Turner said the same thing, that this Cowboy defense is a good defense, but it's not good on the inside. Here's Jamie Asher here, the tight end. You see, he just gets right by the linebackers and in front of the safeties. You see, they're so concerned about the outside receivers of the Redskins that you can work the middle. And every team, when they pass against the Cowboys, always work the slots, the crosses, and the middle.
Gain of 34 yards. Perrott again. Incomplete. Intended again for Asher. Michael Westbrook, who we were talking about earlier, and who was expected to have a big game, is still not playing.
We were talking to Terry Robisky earlier, and here's Michael Westbrook here. You're just going to see him run into his own guy. You see that pile up right there. And he's kind of had a tender knee all year, and they say that he hurt his knee on that play. He came out after that play, doesn't have his helmet on, and obviously didn't go back in, but he was going to be a big part of this offensive game plan of the Redskins.
2nd and 10, Terry Allen gets about 3.
See, what he loves to do is Terry Allen loves to run that play where he gets in behind his pulling guard, and his pulling guard is Trey Johnson. And he says, what I do is I just get in behind Big 77. Now watch, Trey Johnson is going to be here, and he comes here. When Terry Allen comes here, he just sees number 77, and he'll flop around there and make something for you. Watch, if you had to do that, you see the guy coming there, there's Trey Johnson, boom, he gets that block right there, and Terry Allen says, I just look for 77 and get right in behind him.
Smart place to look.
Well, and you can't miss it either.
Timeout, Washington. No score yet. The Redskins deep in Dallas territory. A warm welcome to the Blockbuster Video Blimp and its crew to today's telecast. The pilot today is Captain Steve Tomlin from London, England. This looks like British weather. Navigating is Laura Sheff from Saddle River, New Jersey. And the camera operator is Dave Arnold. Welcome. Stay warm. 3rd down. Blitz coming. Almost picked off. Leon Lett had backed out in a zone blitz.
You're right. That's one of those zone blitzes. You say those guys never do any good when they back out. But watch Leon Lett here. You expect him to rush against Trey Johnson. He takes a step, and then he just drops into the zone right in the middle. And that's that crossing pattern that they're going to do. Now watch Leon Lett. Here he is. This is what a zone blitz looks like. You get your blitzers coming. Your defensive lineman, instead of rushing, he drops out, so you can still play zone behind it and blitz.
Scott Blanton from 40 yards. George Teague had it on the bounce. It got away from him, and let's see. The Cowboys have the ball. Darren Woodson came up with it.
That kind of makes you remember that one against Miami. Remember the Cowboys here in the blocked field goal against the Dolphins? It's going to come. You load middle. That's what you call a load middle, and you just get an extra push in there. Push it back, push it up. Then get your hands up, and it was Chad Hennings who blocks it. Chad Hennings is right here. Just watch. You push, you push, you push. You get your hands up. Chad Hennings got it and hit it with his right hand. Then he went to celebrate. You ought to go get the ball, y'all.
1st and 10, Dallas at their own 15. Chad Hennings blocked a field goal attempt.
Great push in the middle.
Emmett Smith. Emmett. Stopped, tripped up by Rich Owens.
Emmett Smith hasn't been well all year. We started in preseason. Remember the Denver preseason game? He hurt his knee, and then he hurt his ankles, and he hurt his shoulder and elbow, and the opening Monday night game, he hurt his neck and his back, and been something wrong with him all year. But for some reason, I feel that I could just see him exploding today.
Nothing there this time. And right now for a McDonald's game break, let's return to James Brown at our Fox Television Center.
Pat, here's how Kansas City won an 8-minute drive, capped by that 2nd touchdown of Marcus Allen of the day. Kansas City moving a step closer to the playoffs with that victory over the Lions. Back to Pat Summerall and John Madden.
JV, we're at Texas Stadium. It's 3rd and short for the Cowboys. 2 tight ends. Johnson and Armstrong and Emmett Smith hit behind the line of scrimmage, breaks a tackle and another, and gets a 1st down. Stanley Richard finally made the stop.
I tell you, on this side here, Sean Gilbert gets good penetration right there, and that's the thing that makes Emmett Smith bounce up. Patrice Alexander comes up and misses a tackle. Emmitt Smith ran through that part of the tackle. And watch here, you're going to see the penetration. You see that bounces him to the outside. Patrice Alexander missing the tackle there.
Emmitt gets a rest, and Sherman Williams has taken his place as the running back. Williams gets the carry. Gets a couple behind Tunney and Newton.
Yeah, I think this is one of the things that the Cowboys, if Emmitt Smith could play, and he's right back in now, they want to give him a few rests and then see what Sherman Williams can do and give him a change of pace, because speed and quickness and bounce to the outside does give this Redskin defense problems.
0-0 first quarter score. Emmitt Smith is back behind Darrell Johnston. Smith has 5 carries for 33 yards. He only had 18 all last week against the Giants. Aikman. Couple of short of the first. Boutte back to make the stop on Irvin.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I think they have to do with Michael Irvin, is they just can't leave him outside as the outside receiver all the time, because what defenses do is they will roll up to him, and then that takes Troy Aikman's read off of him, and he has to go to someone else. When he gets inside as an inside receiver, a slot receiver, then they can't roll up on him, and he can run those ins and hooks and crosses,
which he runs so well. 3rd and short. Here's Aikman. Blitz coming. Aikman sees it. Gets it outside to Kelvin Martin, who couldn't hang on. The pass is incomplete, I believe. And the Cowboys will have to punt again. There was a scramble.
Well, Ron Lynn, the defensive coordinator of the Washington Redskins, isn't just going to sit there today. I mean, he is doing things. He is given the rush. He has good coverage. That's a heck of a play there, again, by Tom Carter. Yeah. That's the second time that Tom Carter has come up big on a 3rd down pass.
When you blitz, you got to stay close if you're a defensive back.
Especially when it's 3rd and short.
Yep. Chet back for his 2nd punt of the day. Brian Mitchell signals fair catch, gets away from it. He's going to bounce inside the 10 and rolls into the end zone. And they'll start back at the 20. 57-yard punt. They'll bring it back out to the 20, where the Redskins will begin. Back in Irving, Texas Stadium. Pat Summerall with John Madden. No score as yet between the Redskins and the Cowboys. Redskins lead the NFC East 8-4. The Cowboys 7-5. Shepard goes in motion. Handoff to the fullback Mark Logan, and he gets knocked backwards by Leon Lett.
Again, this has been a game so far dominated by the defensive tackles. Look at Troy Aikman there, Pat, right there. He did something to his left hand. They're just putting that cold spray on it. It looks like he took a hit on that left finger right there.
Left hand, not throwing hand.
Yeah, that's the key. There's his left hand, and the only thing that would bother him maybe is a handoff or taking a snap, or maybe it's just nothing, but they were spraying some stuff on it, whatever that is. Has some stuff in his left hand now.
Here's Farad. Back to throw, overthrows Jamie Asher.
Jamie Asher's starting to become the Jay Novacek of this offense. I think when Norv Turner came to the Redskins, he wanted to get a team like the Cowboys. He wanted a big offensive line, which he has. He wanted a good running back. Terry Allen is his Emmitt Smith. And he's trying to get Jamie Asher to be his Jay Novacek. There's Jay Novacek right there in the Cowboy hat. Just talking about you.
3 wide receivers for the Redskins. Brooks, Brian Mitchell in the backfield. Novacek. Flag on the play. George Teague put the big hit on Henry Ellard, but there was a penalty marker down.
But Teague read that one. That was a cross. Henry Ellard coming on a cross, and Teague came up and made a perfect tackle. Penalty's going to be against the Cowboys.
Use of hands. Number 42 on the defense, grabbing the face mask. That's a 5-yard penalty. First down.
42 is Charlie Williams. who comes in on the nickel package for the Cowboys. But that's the first down.
Here's 42 right here. He comes in, like you say, Pat, on the nickel package, and he's playing a linebacker position, and he just grabbed Jamie Asher right there as he came off the line of scrimmage. And it's not only holding, but that brings, as the referee just said, an automatic first down.
This is Terry Allen. Nothing. Smothered.
You know,
Shante Carver and Randall Godfrey, excuse me.
Last year we said that the way that these guys won, these Redskins, is running, and I think that maybe the Cowboys were a little easier to run on last year. Now with the guy that just made that tackle in there, Fred Strickland, I think has really helped the inside of that Cowboy offense. This guy right here against the run. Much more solid.
Fakes to Allen, fires up the middle, and complete. Deion Sanders with the coverage on Henry Allard.
Tell you one thing, this is a defensive game. Both these defenses are fired up. The pass rushes are getting there, and there's great coverage on both sides. Watch the pass rush here. They're just coming right off of Patton, and he makes Farad throw it a little before he wants to, but the coverage was so good there was nothing Gus Farad had anyway.
Shante Carver got the good rush.
Yeah, he went right over Joe Patton. He got him going, and Patton overextended a little, got his nose over his toes, and then that's when you're always susceptible to the inside move.
3 wide receivers on 3rd and long. Farad back in the pocket. Pass is caught this time at the 40. That'll be enough for a first down by Henry Allard.
Yeah, there's a guy that just keeps going on and on, isn't it? Henry Allard, 14th year. Henry Allard, you see what they do is they run like a bunch here. They get 2 receivers. One comes in. Henry Allard goes to the outside, runs an out pattern, and then just comes under control. You see what happens? Kevin Smith was playing zone. He had that outside. So Henry Allard, he didn't continue to the outside. He just stopped and make like an out hook out of that thing. Heck of an adjustment by Henry Allard.
He's been doing it for a long time. Here's Farad on first down. Back to throw it again. Incomplete and picked off by George Teague. Teague to the Redskins 38.
We're just talking about how good Henry Allard was and what a great adjustment he made on that other side. This time they throw him an in or across. It goes right through his hand. Looked like from up here that was a pretty good throw by Gus Farad.
Could have been caught.
And you're just going to see Henry Allard. He's going to come across here, number 85. You see him start on the end right here. Maybe he stumbled a little there. The ball was right in his hands. I mean, Henry Allard has to catch that pass. That was as good a pass as Gus Farad can throw.
Normally, Allard would make that catch.
Oh, yeah, he has to. I mean, maybe it was just a little high, but a 14-year pro, Henry Allard, will catch that 99 out of 100 times.
He didn't. He wouldn't play 14 years. Aikman on first down. To throw, gets it outside to Emmett Smith, and Emmett's taken out of bounds by Ken Harvey.
Yeah, did you see the pregame? They had that feature on Ken Harvey. One of the things that he said made sense to me. He said, he never believed that saying that, big-time players or great players rise to the occasion and play in big games. I just thought if that's true, then on any other games you're cheating. That if you can play better than you can play because someone tells you it's a big game, then what are you doing in the other games if you can play that way? I always thought that, too. I agree with Ken Harvey.
Herschel Walker, split wide to the left. Emmett Smith makes the catch, puts the head down, and gets close to a first down.
There's the old Emmitt Smith I know, Pat. Remember in the 49er game, I said that he ran out of bounds in that game more than I'd seen him run out of bounds in his whole career. Not this time. I mean, this is the way Emmitt Smith used to do it. Get out there, whether it's run or whatever. If you ever get close to that sideline, here it's a pass. You just take it up and then just explode at the end. In other words, don't let that guy tackle you. You unload on him. Tom Carter comes to do it, and boom! He just unloads on Tom Carter, doesn't run out of bounds, gets an extra couple yards.
He's about a yard short of a first down. Aikman on the quarterback sneak should have it.
This is a big game. When Troy Aikman runs quarterback sneaks, it's a big game. The Cowboys, when Norv Turner first came as the offensive coordinator of the Cowboys, he took the quarterback sneak out of the playbook. And they didn't have a quarterback sneak in until about 3 or 4 weeks ago. They put it in for that type of situation.
It seems to me that you've got to have that in your arsenal for situations just like that.
Well, you know, Troy Aikman had a lot of concussions there for a while, and the one thing that I've always said, here's Ernie Zampese here who put that quarterback sneak in there. And one thing that you always say about quarterback sneak is to get it, you have to lead with your head.
There's Emmitt Smith to the 25. Marcus Patton made the tackle.
I was talking to Nate Newton yesterday, and he was saying that this is the kind of game the coaches told him was going to be. He said, we're a big offensive line, and he says, we're not great pass protectors. He said, we're run blockers. And if you want big and you want bulk, you have to run it. And he said the coaches told him they're going to use them today and run the ball.
2nd and 7. Aikman the throw. Screen pass to Darryl Johnston. No place for him to go. At the 30, he lost a couple. Rich Owens led the defense. There's Michael Westbrook. They took him to the locker room. Now he's back on the sideline.
I think everyone's trying to talk him into getting back in there because we were talking to Norv Turner last night, Gus Frerotte last night, Terry Robisky today. They were all saying that Michael Westbrook is a big part of their offensive game plan today.
Yeah, big target, 6'3", 220. Big wide receiver. That's what they need and want. Nothing score. Enjoyed a happy Thanksgiving with us last evening.
Yeah, that's the graphics area.
Yeah.
That's where they get all those things and get them on the screen, just like that one that just went off.
That 3rd and 11. Here's Aikman, flag on the play. Pass is caught, a diving catch by Kelvin Martin, but a flag early. Going to be against Dallas.
After his hands to the face.
What a catch by Kelvin Martin.
And what a throw by Troy Aikman. Because he really hadn't been getting the ball down the field. He had 4 completions. 2 of them have been for negative yards.
Number 73 on the offense. Hands to the face.
All against Larry Allen.
And here's Larry Allen. We have him isolated right here. And you're going to see his hands come up to the face. You see the right hand goes up to the face. Now then, if he didn't push with it, he probably would have been okay.
Yeah.
If he just put it up there. But you see, he got it up there and then gave that extra push. But what a great throw and a great catch by Kelvin Martin.
Wow.
I'll tell you, Troy Aikman had to have the confidence to throw that thing in there because there were 2 defenders on Kelvin Martin.
You see what has happened to the Cowboys lately. 3rd and 21. A long time between visits to the end zone. Aikman slipped, and now down he goes at the 45.
And that was Larry Allen again. He had 2 bad plays in a row. That time he was going in some kind of zone protection, but he lets his guy go too quickly. Here's Larry Allen. He blocks. Then he's going to pass him off to Ray Donaldson, but he lets him go too soon, and that's where the penetration comes from.
Ken Harvey got there.
Watch Larry Allen. You see him block, and then Ken Donaldson gets over there too late, and that's the first pressure. Made Troy Aikman step up, and then boom, then comes Ken Harvey.
So Chet in to punt for the 3rd time today. That looks like it's going to be a pretty good kick. Mitchell catches it. Fair catch at about the 9-yard line where the Redskins take over. Nothing. We're in the 2nd quarter.
Oh, average turkey has 4 legs.
You agree?
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I know that. I mean, that's history, tradition, and all that. And sometimes they grow an extra one or so.
That was Terry Allen who got a Redskin first down. Stopped by George Teague.
You know, and Terry Allen is great at that, running inside, but not just staying in one area. I mean, that time he started in to the left side, and he gets in there behind, Trey Johnson, and then he breaks off to the right. Watch him. He starts here, but he's going to end up over here, and he ends up over that way. He starts in here. You see now, once the cut back there, you see where he ends up? He always doesn't end up where he starts out.
Again, it's Terry Allen. This time he hit at the 25. Darren Woodson up to make the hit that stopped him.
You know, Michael Westbrook still hasn't come back in, Pat. You know, they got all these modern things now. They got MRIs and, you know, X-rays and all this. But look at this. I mean, here's a doctor. He just puts the X-ray up, and he just looks at it through the hole in the roof at Texas Stadium. He said the X-ray is negative.
We better get an X-ray of that turkey you say that's got 4 legs.
Well, no. All turkeys have 4 legs. I mean, just like the kid said. I mean, they have 4. I agree with that.
What farm did you grow up on?
And just no legs.
Logan from Farad, stopped by Woodson again.
Wait, do you disagree with the kids? I mean, kids know best. I mean, they know.
I don't say they don't know best.
Well, I mean, it was when, you know, Thanksgiving, the first Thanksgiving, you know, I mean, the Pilgrims came over here to Plymouth.
But I have some good friends who are turkeys.
I know a lot of turkeys, too.
Third down.
Like if you take a picture of some of those guys in the truck, you can see some turkeys.
That's Brian Mitchell, and Brian Mitchell has a Redskin first down before he's knocked out of bounds by Teague.
Brian Mitchell's a good change of pace too. You know, you watch Terry Allen, and he's a lot like Emmitt Smith. I mean, he's going to run between the tackles. He's a slasher. He uses those big offensive linemen, gets in there behind them. Then they'll bring in a Brian Mitchell, and he'll pop it to the outside because Brian Mitchell, one of the good kick and punt returners, one of the better kick and punt returners in this league, and is a good open field runner.
12:20 left to play in the first half. No score. 1st and 10 Redskins. Farad takes the second Redskin timeout. So they'll only have 1 left. Gus Farad, you can see him getting better week by week.
This Fox NFL special is brought to you by Ford Taurus, a look you've never seen from a name you know well. By Brewery Fresh Budweiser, who reminds you fresh beer tastes better. And by Aptiva, the extraordinary home computer from IBM.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I'm just looking down at the field, Pat, and Michael Westbrook has a bandage on his left knee. It looks like maybe an ice pack. And no helmet, so the Redskins will need him in there. He was going to be a big part of their plan, but he doesn't look like he's going to be, at least in this half.
Farad back to throw it on first down. Throws back across the field. Darren Smith hit Mike Logan just as he made the catch. Better off if he didn't catch it.
That's the thing where you have to stay at home, don't you? That's the old rule, stay home. They were trying to get him to come across to hit Mark Logan. Logan's a fullback, and they faked to Terry Allen to the right, and then they screen left out here to full, and Darren Smith just stayed right with him. They even pulled Trey Johnson. They had Trey Johnson going to the right. They had Terry Allen going to the right. Mark Logan tried to sneak back to the left, but it didn't fool Darren Smith.
Logan in motion on 2nd and 12. Farad gets it to Asher again. And Asher will get a Redskin first down at midfield or close to it. Darren Woodson tracked him down.
Yeah, this has been a battle. Just 2 guys, you just take this battle here. Here's Trey Johnson. Here's Leon Lett. This is just big on big. Just man on man. I mean, just stick your helmet in there, grab whatever you can, and just hold on. I mean, Leon Lett is so strong that he can pick up Trey Johnson. You see him get him up and go back. And Trey Johnson weighs about 340 pounds.
First down, Terry Allen slipped as he tried to cut back.
Yeah, and Darren Woodson was in there, but I'll tell you, on that play, Trey Johnson got Leon Lett. He got him going backwards. That's where they were going to run, and Darren Woodson comes up and makes a play. But watch him get the block now. This time, he's going to get the movement. You see, he gets Leon Lett standing up, and he gets Leon Lett going backwards. The only thing is, Darren Woodson was up in there to make the tackle had Terry Allen not slipped anyway.
2nd down. A little bit over 10. 2 tight ends. Farad gets to Allen, and Allen gets across midfield to about the Dallas 48. Fred Strickland made the stop.
It's even amazing that this Terry Allen is playing. Every time I watch him, and he's a leading rusher in the NFC, and watch how he slashes and darts and he gets tough yards. I mean, Terry Allen doesn't get any easy yards. And to think that he's had both of his knees totally reconstructed.
Tell you what's ironic is his sister has the same problem with one of her knees.
She had a total reconstruction job?
Right.
See, I mean, like a family has a lot of knees, like a turkey has a lot of legs, maybe.
Pass caught by Brian Mitchell, and Brian Mitchell is knocked down at about the 44-yard line. 43 make it.
And that's the old thing with with these offenses, and I still don't understand it, is when you have third down, every receiver has to get beyond the point where if you complete the pass, it's going to be a first down. Now, this doesn't make any sense to me. Third down, completed pass, punt. Makes sense to that guy. That's Joe Avizano, the special teams coach, who almost stepped on an official. He had a quick, pardon me, excuse me.
Deion Sanders deep for the Cowboys. Turk to punt it.
Deion Sanders won't get a chance to return this one with Turk punt.
He can just get away from it. Takes a Cowboy bounce out to about the 16-yard line where Dallas will take over. 8:50 left in the first half, and neither team has scored. Pat Summerall, John Madden at Texas Stadium. No score between the Redskins and Cowboys. Cowboy 1st and 10 at their own 15.
I wonder if there's any people out there that are saying, okay, we'll start eating, we'll sit down and eat the turkey when after the first score. Let's just watch the first score of this game.
They may go hungry.
A lot of hungry people out there.
Aikman gets to Emmett Smith. Emmett trying to find an open stop by Sean Gilbert. Right now for a McDonald's game break, let's return to our Fox Television Center and James Brown.
Pat, it was a nip and tuck affair in Pontiac today. Rich Gannon, first start since '93, 17-yarder to Chris Penn, tied it at 14. Kansas City goes on to win it by 4. Back to Irving, Pat, and John.
Nothing score between the Redskins and Cowboys here at Texas Stadium. Just over 8 minutes left to play in the first half. 2nd and 10.
This is nip and tuck, too.
Yes, sir. This is Emmett Smith, too. Outside the 20 to about the 21, stopped by Mark Boutte.
Look at this. Someone broke a shoelace or something. They got to get a new shoelace. It can't be changing cleats or anything.
No.
Someone's just changing shoes, maybe. A lot of stuff goes on down there. You got to watch all the time. I mean, you got to keep your eyes, up there on the field, guys with X-rays. That has to be a good player. That has to be a good player where you don't have to bend over. You get someone to put your shoes on. In life, you love to get to that position.
4 wide receivers. The Redskins blitz. Aikman fires out intended for Kelvin Martins. Incomplete, and the Cowboys will have to punt.
I think that's Terry Allen. I think that is
yes,
a big player. Yeah. I mean, because when a guy will go get your shoe,
well,
and then
different shoes.
I know, but he's changing shoes is what he's doing.
Yeah.
And a guy will put them on for you. This looks like a shoe store, doesn't it? Like you're trying them on. No shoehorn out there. But now the key is who ties them.
The key is who ties them?
Yeah, I mean, that's how big a star is. If he ties his own shoes, then he's no. See,
he's a big star.
He's a big star. He's a leading rusher in the NFC.
Number 34 on the offense, moving prior to the snap. The 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
A lot of these teams are the top teams in the NFC. There's 3 words that explain them as out of sync. And I think this Cowboy offense is really out of sync. Watch the 49ers, they've kind of been out of sync offensively most of the year, and the Green Bay Packers now are out of sync, and to me, they're still the 3 top teams in the NFC.
Well, every team, every year seems to go through that kind of phase at some point.
But I think the Cowboy offense has been out of sync all year.
Yep. Mitchell signals fair catch. Cowboy fans thought there should have been a penalty. On a block by one of the Redskins, but no yellow flag is thrown.
This Fox NFL special is brought to you by Infiniti, #1 car line and customer satisfaction, according to J.D. Power and Associates.
Nothing, the score between Dallas and Washington. with 7:22 left to play in the first half. Washington 1st and 10. Perrott back to throw on first down. Fires, passes caught by Asher. That's an outstanding catch. Now they're saying incomplete. He didn't have it.
You know, we've been watching this Gus Frerotte, though, and he just gets so comfortable in the pocket and so confident in passing the ball that he thinks that he can make those kind of throws. I mean, Darren Woodson was right on Jamie Asher, and Gus Frerotte got that ball in there. I mean, the ball did hit the ground. It was incomplete, but that was a perfect pass, and it had to be a perfect pass.
Frerotte gives to Terry Allen. And Terry Allen is hit and knocked backwards quickly. Chad Henning. Broderick Thomas. Our Aflac trivia question: how many players have won the Turkey Leg Award? When did we start?
I remember the first one. The first one was Reggie White, and that was when he played for the Philadelphia Eagles, and that was back in like 1988 or 89.
So how many players since then have won the annual Turkey Leg Award?
And if anyone cares, you have to remember that a lot of, sometimes multiple guys won.
Incomplete. Asher.
Holy moly, 2 in a row. 2 in a row that were that close. One Asher dropped the ball hit the ground. That time they said he was out of bounds. First guy over there is Gus Frerotte arguing.
Let's have a look at it.
Again, it's where his feet are when he has control of the ball. The ball was out of bounds, and his feet were still moving, so that ball was just thrown out of bounds.
That's a good call. Turk with Kelvin Martin deep. And somebody moved in the Redskin protection unit. And so Turk, who got off a fine punt, will have to do it again.
Number 58 on the offense, moving prior to the snap. The 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
And that was smart by Matt Turk taking that one, because I've heard him say before that he always, if someone takes a penalty and makes him punt again, he likes that because he has the rhythm from just having punted. And so I think he did that on purpose. I mean, the whistle blew, and I think Matt Turk took that punt to get a rhythm for this punt.
Let's see how he does this time, because that was an excellent punt.
He'll punt a boomer.
It is a boomer. Martin back at the 13. To the 25, where the Cowboys will take over. Alexander down to make the stop. 0-0 score. Happy Thanksgiving one more time.
I know she puts this little like timer in the turkey while you put it in the oven with this thing under it, and then you squirt it while it's warming up.
I think that's called basting, isn't it?
I don't know, but I did the same thing on the bus this morning. We had some I was squirting the turkey. That's the only thing I can do. I just squirt the turkey.
Your turkey have giblets?
Yeah, but I don't know where they go the rest of the year, the giblets. I was looking for the giblets.
Sherman Williams is the deep back, and here's Aikman back to throw. Has some time. Incomplete. Intended for Eric Bjornsson.
We talked about the Cowboy offense not being in sync, and you can look at them today. They haven't scored any points. They've had 3 first downs. They've run for 45 yards, but they haven't established it. But watch this. I mean, their passing is -7. They've been forced to punt 4 times, and the quarterback, Aikman's been sacked 2 times. Yards per play, 1.9. So nothing, that just shows that they're out of sync.
Sherman Williams.
And they're kind of playing like they practiced. I mean, I mentioned, watching them on Tuesday and watching them on Wednesday, and that's the lowest and worst practices I have ever seen by a Cowboy team.
Thank goodness, if you're a Cowboy fan, for the defense. The defense has played well.
The defense is playing very well, and but that hasn't been enough. I mean, the defense played all right against the Giants too, but this is too good a team, and at some point they have to get mad and go out and just do things. I mean, Troy Aikman has to throw the ball to Michael Irvin. I mean, they have to do those things, but those are their big play guys.
4 wide receivers to Irvin, but a flag on the play.
You know, in all fairness to him, too, is they did have that one touchdown pass to Kelvin Martin. There was a penalty on that, and that was called back. So that has been in there in this first half, too.
Offensive pass interference. This is called against Irvin.
And they're really having trouble with these penalties. Remember Larry Allen's penalty to the face? There's Michael Irvin. You see, just before he makes that cut, he gave that little push off to Darrell Green.
Here it is.
You see, here's how he gets open. He pushes him off right there. That is offensive interference. I mean, you can't do that. And I'll tell you right now, they watch Michael Irvin for that offensive pass interference, and they watch that right side of their offensive line, Eric Williams and Larry Allen, for hands to the face.
On 3rd down. Aikman is back to throw. The Redskins semi-blitz incomplete. Irvin slipped. He was the intended receiver.
You know who's on him and has been covering him like a blanket is Darrell Green. We've seen Darrell Green the last 3 games. He's just been phenomenal. I mean, here he is, 14 years in the league, always looks young, always looks fresh, has a bounce in his step and his bright eyes and
great smile.
A couple weeks ago, he covered Irving Fryer all over the field, did a great job against him. Last week it was Jerry Rice. Today it's Michael Irvin. This guy never gets a day off.
Jet to punt for the 5th time. And this is a good kick to Brian Mitchell. And is downed immediately. Jim Schwantz was the man who made the stop. They don't look like cops. 25 years they've been playing here at the house with the hole in the roof. Texas Stadium, 1st and 10. At their own 33. And let's see, I haven't seen an official signal the Cowboys have it yet. Now I have. Bernie Kukar comes out of there and says, yes, Dallas ball.
Watch the snap here. We have the hands of the Gus Fry. And you see, the ball was right up there. He had the ball right in his hand, and then he just opened them up, and the ball just fell right out. See how he started? He had his hands together, opened his hands for the snap. The snap was up in there, and then he just opened his hands again, dropped the ball.
Recovered by Fred Strickland.
Well, that was a good shot of a quarterback exchange fumble.
Strickland made 20 tackles last week against the Giants in a losing cause. He's really been a solid contributor.
He's made a big difference against the inside run against the Cowboys.
And Smith picking his way to the 21.
I'll tell you, Emmitt Smith isn't looking for a place to fall down today. I mean, he's not running out of bounds. He's not doing those things. Whatever he did, he didn't come out to practice on Tuesday. He didn't come out to practice on Wednesday. Whatever he did inside, he did it pretty well. I think he had a little meeting with himself and decided that if guys are going to take on me, I'm going to take on them before they take on me.
Johnny Mitchell in the game for Dallas now. And this is Emmitt Smith. And Emmitt gets to the 25 before the Redskins' pursuit catches up with him, led by Ken Harvey.
Ken Harvey's playing a very active game today. I mean, not only as a linebacker pursuing up and down against the run, but also in the pass rush. He was the guy that really put a hit on Troy Aikman. I mean, he put one of those hits on him, and it was a helmet to a helmet, and really jarred Troy Aikman.
He's just a very intense guy. 2 sacks today.
Yeah, I've seen pictures of him like break boards with his hands.
And his head?
With his head without a helmet. Break boards with his head.
Emmitt Smith got close to a first down with a last little effort.
I don't know how the heck he got in there. There wasn't much of a hole there. You know, the line's job is to find something for him. But if you watch in here, I mean, he's going to run right in here, and there's not much in there. There's Moose Johnson. Wherever he goes, that's going to be the lead. There's just a very, very little crack there.
Good block by Moose.
Tony Woods, the off defensive end, came over to make that play.
He'll measure.
Moose makes a lot of good blocks.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised someplace in here. The Cowboys just signed and activated Johnny Mitchell. I wouldn't be surprised someplace here if they don't take a shot at him. Not on this down.
Not on this down, no.
No, this is short yardage. I think this is that quarterback sneak area again.
That's what you and everybody are expecting, I think.
And I think, years ago or for years, it was always a run to Emmitt Smith. Now it's that 4th down, and they're going to go for it. And I think it has to be that quarterback sneak. I think they did it earlier. I think Troy Aikman just has to fall down. I wouldn't take the chance with the lead and the handoff. I'd just take the quarterback sneak.
That's what he took. And he got the foot.
Yeah, it's really tough for an official not to give you a mark unless the quarterback fumbles that thing. If you just have that far to go and you just take it and fall down, in my experience, they always give you the first down.
If you're 6'4", as Aikman is, they're going to measure again.
Well, maybe always. You never say always, do you?
No.
Barry Switzer's thinking, how in the heck can you not get a first down? They only had to go a couple of inches. Here comes a change. This will be an interesting.
You heard what
right here. And the most interesting guy is right here, Troy Aikman. He's saying, what the heck, did I get it or not?
He's perhaps read North Turner.
That is a heck of a thing.
North Turner said, what kind of mark is that?
Well, yeah, but watch this play here, and how do you figure out where the ball goes? I mean, where are you going to spot the ball? It's where the ball is right now when they blow the whistle. But just watch that picture. I mean, those guys come in from the side. They have to run 25 yards before they get there. Which foot are they going to put down, and how do they know where?
It's a science.
I think it's a gimme.
Emmitt Smith, and there's some room there. Emmitt out of bounds at about the 18-yard line. 19 make it. Run out by Patton.
Yeah, we were talking earlier about Johnny Mitchell, the tight end that the Cowboys signed, and they just activated him today. And I think they do have some plays for him. They have some passes for him down in this area. Now, he can't run it from where he is right now.
No. There's an injured Redskin. Romeo Bandison is down. Aikman's going to go over to the sideline. I.J. Armstrong is one of the tight ends for the Cowboys. Mitchell's still on the sideline. 0-0. Back at Texas Stadium. There was a light rain earlier in the day that has stopped. Bandison was the injured Redskin, and we'll see what happened to him.
See, he's just getting blocked there, and he started to get off, and his foot was caught in the ground.
And then somebody kicked him in the head.
I think his foot was caught under one of the Cowboys, and he started to pull, and most of his body went, and his foot stayed there.
2nd down for Dallas when they get up to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 6 on the Washington 19. Again, still no score. Look at the red zone rankings of these two. The defense and the Dallas offense is 18th. Inside the 20. Aikman fakes to Emmitt Smith. It's incomplete.
Well, that's unlike the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one thing that they don't do much is have Troy Aikman run. I mean,
that's not his strong suit.
No. He's a drop back pocket passer, and he didn't like that play. He didn't like the way that pattern was run. And again, on 1st down, they tried to fake the run and get him outside. But I mean, I think it shows that they're struggling inside the red zone or inside the 20-yard line when they start coming up with plays like that on first things that are not very becoming of the Dallas Cowboys.
3rd and 6. Herschel Walker is split wide to the right. Aikman back to throw it. Incomplete. Herschel Walker saying I was interfered with. Herschel Walker, the intended receiver, covered by Brian Walker.
I was just going to say that Aikman is 0 for 5 this quarter.
There you go.
Number 45 on the defense.
I didn't see the flag, but there was one.
And Brian Walker's right here. He's the strong safety. He's starting for Daryl Morrison, who's injured out, and the backup, Daryl Pounds, is out. So the starting strong safety is Walker, and that was him right there. I don't know. They had to see that left arm.
Had to.
Because the right arm, he's okay with the right arm. Yeah, I mean, that's not a bad play, but that left arm has to be around Herschel Walker's waist.
First and goal at the 4. And Emmett Smith, touchdown. Their first touchdown in the last 31 quarters.
Ray Aikman was talking about that yesterday, and he said it's because we usually run and we haven't run. Look at this. This is an offensive lineman. Offensive linemen love running the football more than a running back does, more than anyone.
That's Eric
football
Williams.
to them.
That was Eric Williams. Bonio for the extra point. Extra point is good.
Yeah, we were talking about Johnny Mitchell, Pat, being active. You're going to see him get a block right there. There's Johnny Mitchell. He's making a block. He just stays with his guy and just gives Emmitt Smith a little extra.
Smith's 106th career touchdown.
Watch this play here, the touchdown play. They catch him on a slant. Nate Newton just fires down and really opens up this hole back here. But watch Nate Newton here. They catch him on a slant. He just drives his guy and picks off 2, and he's the guy that makes the hole. They caught him going that way, and Emmitt Smith saw it. Nate Newton saw it. They played the play perfectly.
Bonio kicks it off. It's going to be Brian Mitchell at about the 11. Mitchell still on his feet at the 30, about the 31. That touchdown by Emmitt Smith, his 106th career touchdown, and that ties Jim Brown for 3rd place on the most all-time. 7-0 Dallas. The Redskins nothing. 1:52 left to play in the first half, and happy Thanksgiving, Carmen. Thank you.
I think that was for the whole world and for her daughter, who she's going to see in New Orleans this weekend.
Gus Farrat back to throw. Coverage was there. Kevin Smith came loose with the ball.
And they threw a flag right at that, Pat. That official from back there, the players were going for the ball, and the official threw the flag right at him that it's going to be against Kevin Smith. Uh-oh, he better watch out. I mean, here's Kevin Smith right down here, and it's going to be a slant. He's going to come up, and then he's going to go to the inside, and Kevin Smith grabs him right there.
Holding, number 26 on the defense. That's a 5-yard penalty, first down.
He said to us yesterday when we talked with him that he expected to get a couple of those during the course of the game.
He calls them tugs. He said every once in a while I'm going to get a tug. You have to give a tug, but I don't know if that was really a tug, though.
That's about all it was.
I mean, he's arguing. He's saying that wasn't a tug. He said, when I tug, I'll tug. But I don't know that he did. I mean, the only tug he got was from one of his own guys who was saying his nickname is Pup. He was saying, calm down, Pup.
First down, Redskins, 3 wide receivers. Dallas leading by a touchdown, 7-0. Cowboys blitz comes. Brock threw it up in the direction of Brooks, and there's another flag on the play. Kevin Williams.
And this one's going to be against the Cowboys again. I think this one's going to be against Darren Woodson. Darren Woodson was there, and he took off his helmet. Now it's Pup again.
Yeah.
Number 26 on the defense.
Number 26 is Kevin Williams. And Kevin Smith, I'm sorry.
And that was the blitz, and Kevin Smith was just taking off his helmet to run away from there. But you watch again, man-to-man, 2 plays in a row. He gets the push there. Now that's after 5 yards. He gets the second push.
And there comes the flag. That's a 28-yard penalty. Mitchell. Stopped by Charlie Williams.
You know what Kevin Smith did after that play? He turned around to look at the official on that side to say, was I okay then? because he got him twice in a row. The first one I thought was a little touchy. The second one I think was just that he had his hands on him, you know, while the ball was in the air, because there was a blitz and Gus Frerotte just threw the ball up in the air. Kevin Smith didn't know the ball was in the air.
Brought back to throw it again. Pass is caught by Brooks. And Brooks gets to the 13-yard line. Kevin Smith on the coverage. Clock still running with a minute to go now.
And I think that's what they're doing. I think they're going after Kevin Smith. Here's Brooks and Kevin Smith here. Kevin Smith is a little upset. You know, and the one thing a cornerback has to have is a bad memory.
Yep.
You know, whatever happened, you have to forget it, get it out of your mind. He's had a couple bad calls, and then he gets beaten by that end by Bill Brooks.
Clock still running. Pass for Shepard is caught at about the 3.5-yard line.
That was a heck of a catch.
Yeah, it was.
And there by Leslie Shepard, because, you know, Gus Frerotte, I don't know that was throwing the ball to Leslie Shepard or throwing it away from Deion Sanders, because sometimes you do that. I mean, you'll throw it to a receiver or you'll throw it away from a defender, so there's no way that that ball can be intercepted.
They mark it at the 4. The Redskins have just used their last timeout.
One thing that they're going to do is they're always going to know where he is. They're going to get Leon Lett, and they're going to work on him. I mean, here they got him doubled. They have Jeff Ulenake, the center, coming his way. They are not going to let Leon Lett be a difference maker when they get down here.
That's a ball, if they hadn't cut him like that he could have batted down.
And then and again, Norv Turner, you know, having been with this team and knows those kind of things, and knows if you're going to throw that slant, you better get Leon Lett's hands down and get his whole body down.
2nd and 2. Frerotte back to throw it. Fires incomplete. No flags. No flags. Intended for Shepard. Incomplete. 30 seconds left. The Redskins out of timeouts and a 3rd down approaching.
Yeah, with no timeouts, that's why they had to pass the ball, so they're going to have to go the same thing here. You see, because if they had a timeout, they can get a 1st down. With no timeouts left and 3rd down, they're going to have to throw for the end zone again.
Terry Allen is deep behind Frerotte. But Frerotte is back to throw. And throws. And it's incomplete. In the direction of Terry Allen in the corner of the end zone. Don't forget to stay with us at the half as the Redskins send their field goal unit on the field. Stay with us at the half for the Dockers Khakis halftime report coming up with JB and Terry and Howe and Ronnie, all 4. Chiefs Lions highlights, first half analysis of this game. And Blanton in to try a field goal for Washington.
Yeah, one thing you analyze is a poor use of timeouts in the first half. You know, and that's why they're so important that you don't burn them early, so you save them for this situation.
21-yard field goal is good, and the Redskins get on the scoreboard. They cut the lead to 7-3.
See, had the Redskins had a timeout or 2 timeouts left, they could have run the ball there. They could have gotten the 1st down. They could have played that series a whole lot different. With no timeouts, Norv Turner only had one way to play that series. And really, the Redskins have beaten the Cowboys in this first half. The Cowboys are ahead because, remember, that came off the Gus Frerotte fumble.
2 turnovers the Redskins have had, and that's something they haven't been doing. In fact, they led the NFL in the plus figure.
And you look at Kevin Smith there, and you see how upset he is. In fact, that table that they're putting back there, you wonder how it got like that. Kevin Smith just knocked that over.
Scattered the ice all over the place.
Because there were 3 plays in a row. Remember, he got a penalty on one play, penalty on the second play.
Disconnected then, 2 phones.
Then on the 3rd play, Bill Brooks beat him on an in.
Wet 13 towels.
Well, the old pup, that deal about not having a good memory, I think Kevin Smith's memory is a little too good. You got to take all that stuff and just throw it out of there. Because one thing, you know, you have different officials on your side the next half. You know that the officials that are on the sidelines change sides each half, so he'll get a different guy next half.
The squib kick bounces down, bounces through the legs.
He better pick it up.
Williams, somebody, Herschel Walker, fell on it. Got away from Williams, and Walker alertly fell on it. And it's a good thing he did.
Remember the Heidi game years ago? That
Sure.
was the Raiders, and we were playing the Jets, and the Jets were ahead, and they went away from the game, and that's what happened. We scored a touchdown, and then the Jets did something like this, and we picked up the ball in the end zone and scored it. Preston Reitelhuber, and we won the game, and the television audience was watching the movie Heidi. But it was a lot like that play,
Yeah.
except we got the ball.
We being the Raiders.
We being the Raiders, and you know, in that case, it would have been we being the Redskins.
Well, let's go back and look one more time at our Aflac trivia question. How many players have won the Turkey Leg Award? 27 in all. First one, as John said a minute ago, was Reggie White. We'll see who it is today. That's the end of the first half with the score 7-3 Dallas. James Brown, Terry Bradshaw, Howie Long, and Ronnie Knott will be along with the Dockers Khakis halftime report following these messages.
Dockers halftime report brought to you by Dockers Khakis. What those guys wear at player-only meetings. Hey, nice pants.
7-3, Cowboys lead it at the half. Emmitt Smith, 58 yards on the ground. That in the first half as we welcome you back to the Fox Television Center, along with the guys Ronnie, Howie, and Terry. I'm James Brown. Now, Emmitt Smith, boy, the saga continues. 58 yards in the first half. Questionable as to whether or not he was going to be able to do it. How do you read it?
Well, he took an MRI on Monday. The MRI was negative. They say he didn't practice all week. Running backs don't practice normally all week. Terry Allen doesn't practice in Washington. So I'm not surprised. I don't think Ronnie or Howie was surprised that Emmitt was running the football. I'm surprised that Dallas has a -7 yards passing the football. Right now, the offense of the Cowboys does not look good at all.
Who wants to win this thing? I mean, you know,
Fourth quarter, Howie.
Farad drops the snap from center. They get a field goal blocked. The only offense that Dallas has really put on the board is off that turnover from Farad. 2 for 8 on third down conversions for Dallas, 2 for 7 for Washington. Who wants to win this game, and how close will it be in the fourth? I think it goes back to Terry's point. If it's close in the fourth, Farad and the Washington Redskins seem to be able to move the ball a little bit easier.
When you think about it, right now, Michael Westbrook's out, so that's going to hurt them. Can Billy Briggs pick up the slack? Can Jamie Asher continue to play the way he's playing? Right now, it looks like the Redskins, if they hadn't made the mistakes, they hadn't had the turnovers, they would have had a chance to be ahead right now and winning this football game.
I go in that locker room and I get Westbrook over in a corner and I say, hey, listen, I need you in this big game. Get your butt back out. I don't give a hoot what you got wrong with your knee. I can't understand this guy.
He's 6'4", 2
I don't care how big he is.
So much of the game plan was focused toward him, as a matter of fact. Terry Allen with only 25 yards.
Again, a happy Thanksgiving. Dallas 7, Washington 3. We're at the half at Texas Stadium. And we asked you a little bit earlier about how many previous winners there had been. Well, today's winners are on board. And we'll be set for the presentation when this game is over. Turkey's ready. The guys are ready. The turkey's ready. 7-3 at the half. All is in readiness, and we'll return to Texas Stadium for the start of the second half after these messages from your local Fox station. This season, NFL Charities gave $1 million to various player foundations, including the Troy Aikman Foundation. NFL Charities was formed so that the NFL clubs could collectively make grants to worthy national causes. Since its inception, NFL Charities has made grant commitments of more than $21 million to national charitable agencies. Today's first half highlights are brought to you by Braun. And John, there weren't many.
Well, remember this one. This is really how the Cowboys scored. Gus Farad fumbled the snap. Then the Cowboys got good field position, and they got this play. This was the only touchdown in the first half.
There was a key block field goal earlier in the game.
That was the other thing. Remember the big push in the middle. Chad Hennings gets his hands up and blocks that one. Really, the Redskins really whipped the Cowboys about every way that you could, except on the scoreboard. And then they just had, you know, they had a few miscues. They didn't use their timeouts well, I don't think. They had a couple of turnovers. They had that blocked field goal there.
They've rarely turned it over, as I said before. They lead the NFL in the plus figure in terms of turnovers, plus 13.
You know, and that was the way that they've beaten the Cowboys last year, is not turning the ball over, not having any penalties, and being able to run the ball. They really haven't done that.
Kevin Williams. Out to about the 28, where the Cowboys will take over. They lead 7-3. Brian Walker made the stop. A defensive battle in the first half. And good work on both sides of the field by the special teams.
You know, and good work on both sides of the field by the defenses. And as the guys were talking about, you know, at the halftime, the Dallas Cowboy offense just isn't in any kind of sync at all. And maybe they are a running team, and maybe they're going to be able to run. But to me, if you have Troy Aikman, one of the best quarterbacks in the game, and Michael Irvin, that has to be a big part of your offense.
Darrell Johnston was the man on the move in the backfield. Aikman to Bjornsson. Picked up perhaps 5. Stevens made the stop. First half statistics. Cowboys had 66 yards on the ground. The Redskins 37.
See, and here's a big thing. I mean, -7 for the Cowboys. I know they had 1 called back. And then for the Redskins, only 37 yards rushing. The Redskins have to do a little better job of rushing the ball. And the Cowboys, if they're going to be a championship team, they have to be able to pass the football.
Emmett Smith slipped down as he crossed the 40. Jerry Jones, the owner of the Cowboys, normally stays up in his box until close to the end of the game, but he's already down on the side of the field. As you pointed out, John, early on, they had 2 terrible days of practice on Tuesday and Wednesday.
Yeah, yesterday was one of the worst practices that we've ever seen. And the Cowboys at 7-5, there's a sense of urgency here. That, you know,
there should be.
If they don't start playing pretty soon, the season's going to be over. And, you know, they can't keep saying, well, we're defending champions. You're not going to be defending champions anymore. You're going to be sitting home watching playoffs.
Stevens stopped Emmett Smith, but he got a first down. And that's been rare, and Aikman's been under pressure all day.
Well, again, you know, he doesn't have a tight end, and that's been the big thing with him. You know, when he used to have Jay Novacek, he was kind of his security blanket. He didn't take a lot of that stuff. He was sacked twice, hit 3 times, hurried 4 times, and only had 16 yards.
He has Johnny Mitchell, who they just signed late last week at tight end now, and Aikman back to throw. Picked off, deflected, and intercepted.
And that's the thing that he doesn't do. He was trying to throw to Johnny Mitchell. Johnny Mitchell was running a deep in pattern, and he fell down. Here's Johnny Mitchell. You're going to see him start up. He's going to run an in pattern. He starts up, then he starts to the end, and he trips and falls down right there. And then the ball is just thrown there. Now, Troy Aikman throws the ball before the guy gets there. He doesn't wait. So if a guy trips or slips, he's going to throw it where the guy's supposed to be.
I think this ball was deflected on the way there before Stevens picked it off.
I'm surprised that he threw an in to Johnny Mitchell, because that's a rhythm-type pass, and Johnny Mitchell's only worked with him a few days.
Terry Allen hit by Godfrey and Strickland. I thought somebody hit it.
I think it's Michael Irvin. I don't know that Michael Irvin wasn't there. It was, it wasn't. Went right through Michael Irvin's hands. I don't know that that was even for Johnny Mitchell.
I don't think it was. I think it was intended for Irvin.
Yeah, you watch Michael Irvin. See, he's a short guy. Johnny Mitchell's a deep guy. That ball was to Michael Irvin and went right through his hand.
Here's Farrat back to throw. Swings it outside to Terry Allen, who dropped it, and it's just as well because Woodson was right with him. And Godfrey Miles also over.
Yeah, that's the thing, you know, getting back that Cowboy offense, and Troy Aikman, you know, if he's one of the best quarterbacks in football, if this guy here, Michael Irvin, is one of the best receivers, they have to hook up. I mean, they have, you know, it just can't be run the big offensive line and you know, Emmitt Smith, that's part of it. But if you're a playmaker, you got to be part of it too, and they're not. And the Redskin defense, remember, just a couple weeks ago, Boomer Esiason threw for over 500 yards against this defense.
Playmakers make plays. That's Leslie Shepard, who gets the Redskin first down on a strike from Farrat.
That was a strike from Gus Farrat. I mean, he stood in that pocket and he threw that ball to Leslie Shepard. Shepard is out here, and he's going to run slant. Up 3 steps, boom, right in there. And Gus Frerotte just threw a perfect pass. Watch him in the pocket. He's looking all the way, finds that lane, and just zips it into Leslie Shepard. And again, that same pass, that's on Kevin Smith again. They have a plan here that they are working on Kevin Smith.
Frerotte looking in that direction again to Brooks. It's incomplete. Smith was right with him.
Yeah, Kevin Smith is having enough of that. I think finally he came up with a play. And remember at the end of the half, he had the 2 penalties, and Brooks had caught an in on him, and Shepard caught the slant. Then they put Brooks in to run an in, and Kevin Smith knocked it down.
Those 2 penalties led to the only Redskin points, the field goal by Blanton at 7-3 with 11:43 left in the 3rd quarter, and Dallas up by 4 points.
And Norv Turner calls the plays, and if he finds something, he keeps going to it until you stop it.
Protection's okay. Pass caught by Brooks. The crossing pattern. Darren Woodson there to make the stop.
And again, that was the same thing. It was against Kevin Smith again, and I think the way the Cowboys play, they play a man, and then at a point they let it go. Now here they are here, and see, Brooks just going to come across here. Kevin Smith will come with him and let him go at a point, and at that point is where you hit him. I always thought that was a weakness of this defense. You see right there when he lets him go, right after he lets him go, now he has to pass him off to a linebacker. And either in front of that linebacker or between that linebacker after the pass off, you have to.
Well, short of the 1st down, but Mitchell will get it now on the pass from Frerotte. Run out of bounds by Swans. But they're at the Cowboy 26-yard line.
You know who's doing a good job as a right tackle, Sharp Pordanish. I mean, I thought he did a good job last week against the 49ers. I think he's doing a good job right now. Here's Sharp Pordanish, played in the Canadian Football Leagues a couple years ago. 1st year with the Redskins. You know, they had to play him at left tackle on opening day. He got whipped there. Now with Ed Simmons out, he's playing right tackle, and he's played well these last 2 weeks.
He's contained Tony Tolbert today. 3 wide receivers this time on 1st down, and Frerotte again takes a timeout.
And that's another wasted timeout. Yep. Remember in the 1st half, that come back to haunt him at the end of the half.
Frerotte over to Norv Turner. 7-3 Dallas.
This Fox NFL special is brought to you by the Braun Flex Integral, designed to perform better. By Chevrolet Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. By Microsoft Software, where do you want to go today? And by Visa, the preferred card of the NFL. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
1st down, Redskins at the Cowboy 26. Dallas leading 7-3. Pat Summerall and John Madden. And here's Frerotte back to throw. Got a man wide open. It's Shepard. Touchdown, Redskins.
That's that same crossing pattern. Norv Turner found that. Again, it's against Kevin Smith. They started off way on this right side, and they found, remember just a little while ago, they did it on a shorter pattern. He figured if that would work, he'll just go it deep. Now watch, here he is out here, and he's going to start here and run all the way across the field and catch the ball way on the other side of the field. You see, he gives a little move to Kevin Smith there, and then Kevin Smith lets him go, passes him off. Gus Frerotte makes a perfect throw.
Shepard injured after he made the catch. Here he is limping off. But he gives Washington the touchdown.
And a big play. And Norv Turner saw that on that crossing pattern that he got before short. He just lengthened that thing up and ran the same pattern.
Blanton's extra point is good, and the Redskins lead it 10-7. 10:25 left to play in the 3rd quarter. Washington up by 3. In the early part of next year, Blockbuster will be moving its corporate headquarters to Dallas, Texas. We'll likely see the Blockbuster blimp over Texas Stadium frequently in the months ahead. The Cowboys down by 3 at the moment. Kevin Williams had some room.
You know, in that touchdown, Pat, you know, watch what a play fake does. when you play fake here, watch the safeties. Here's Darren Woodson. He takes a bite and falls down. Here's George Teague. He comes up, and that's let Leslie Shepard get in behind these guys. Now, we always talk about play pass and why they do it. See the play fake? See those safeties both bite up, and see Leslie Shepard right here sneak in behind him? That's why. So then Kevin Smith had to run all the way across from him with no help and no safety.
And when you're faking to Terry Allen, it's even more effective. That's Emmitt Smith for the Cowboys. Stanley Richard made the stop. That's Shepard who scored the touchdown.
Yeah, remember, he came limping off the field. A couple of weeks ago, he pulled a hamstring in the first play of the game, so he missed that game and another game. Came back last week. I thought maybe that injury was a hamstring injury, but when you see him taping like this, you know there was something he did to his ankle.
Michael Irvin split wide to the left. Second about 5. And Emmitt Smith with room this time. Emmitt Smith streaking down to the 30-yard line. Smith to the 30. Darrell Green finally tracked him down with Stanley Richard.
So much for that. Slowed down, didn't practice, isn't going to play, isn't the same guy. Watch him burst on this play. I mean, he really takes a... He's always going to start to the side where Moose Johnston is. It's always going to start that side. Watch that lead block right there. Moose Johnston, the best fullback blocker in football in the game. Right on. He goes right there, right, you know, Larry Allen, Eric Williams, Moose Johnston.
Great block by Larry Allen, too. That's Moose Johnston to the 15. Aikman to Johnson.
I think maybe the Cowboys are getting a little mad. That's what they have to do. Moose Johnston made a heck of a block. Just watch this block and this run by Emmitt Smith. He really took off. Larry Allen just knocked his guy right out of frame. No one touches Emmitt Smith. I mean, he's just looking for one of those burgundy jerseys.
42 yards on the run by Emmitt Smith, his longest by far of the year, and he's over 1,000 for the year. Flags on the play. The Redskins were blitzing. Smith still running, gets to the 10.
Yeah, that was one of those what they call a run blitz.
Baited, run blitz, something like that.
Yeah, Rod Stevens, the middle linebacker, was going to blitz, and he was going to blitz in that 4 hole, the hole that Emmitt Smith had just run in before, and he got there way before the ball was snapped.
Against the Redskins.
And watch what he's going to do. Here's the hole that they ran before. So he's going to take off and jump in that hole. He's going to blitz in that hole, and he's going to get it. Whoa, got it a little too quickly. But that's, you know, that's a different guy. You know, they have blitzing for the passes, and they have blitzing for a run. And Rod Stevens on that one was running a run blitz.
It's 1st and 5.
And Emmitt Smith has already gained 111 yards.
He's deep. That's Johnston the carry. And he got a couple. That's a play they run maybe once a game, twice perhaps. Never has gotten big yardage, but you know he's there.
Well, you know, the one thing, they never cut the Moose loose in this offense, and I think he got such a good block on Emmitt Smith's long run, they decided to give him a couple bones. They threw him the ball, and that was one bone, and then they gave him a little run. That was another bone.
Moose likes a bone once in a while.
Once in a while, they'll give the Moose a bone because he has to block like heck all the time. That's all he does.
Smith is deep. 2nd down. About 4. That's Emmitt Smith. Nears the 5. Nears the 1st down. Boutte made the stop.
You know, a lot of teams key on Moose Johnston because, you know, I always say the way he steps, his first step is going to be the way the ball goes. Now, what? The first step he takes, if he steps here or here, the ball is going to come here. Now, the only thing that will break that up is when Emmitt Smith starts here, and then he'll cut back. You see, that's the thing that breaks that key up. Because they all key, you know, he comes, I come. You know, but that doesn't mean that Emmitt Smith is always going to be right behind him.
3 tight ends set up for Dallas. 3rd and 1. Smith deep. Smith gets the carry. He'll get the 1st down. At about the 3.
One of the things that Troy Aikman was talking about yesterday was their lack of success inside the 20, and he said that kind of goes with our running game. He says we're not good inside the 20 because we haven't been running the ball well. And then if we start to run the ball well again, then we will be good inside the 20. And I think that's what Troy Aikman and the Cowboys are trying to prove right here.
First and goal at the 4. Smith is deep. Johnston in front of him. Emmett gets the carry again. Emmett will score again. Touchdown, Dallas. Emmett jumped over a Redskin. Looked as if for a moment he might have hurt himself, but he looks okay. 107 career touchdown. For number 22, he's alone in 3rd place for all time.
Here he is. He's going to start in here. Now, usually they run to the inside, run out of the I formation. He gets that lead to the outside instead of the inside. Watch his block right here by Moose Johnston. Again, that's the block that frees him. Moose Johnston just gets on his guy and just, boom, just knocks him right over. What are you talking about? That's the way to block.
Bonio extra point is good, and the Cowboys recapture the lead, 14-10. We have 6 minutes, 2 seconds left to play in the 3rd quarter, and Dallas up by 4. Pacific.
What, that's going to be on a pregame show?
On Sunday. Yes.
It'll be Hornswoggle.
I don't know if that's in there or not. Budweiser game summary. Washington 2 turnovers, Dallas 1. Points off the turnovers, 7 apiece. Washington has 150 yards passing. The Cowboys just 14. But the big story has been Emmitt Smith and his return, I guess you could say, after that disappointing day against the Giants.
Illegal use of hands, number 97 on the kicking team. That's a 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
Call against Kavika Pittman. Joe Avezano doesn't think that's a correct call, does it?
Bernie Kukar, we had our Thanksgiving dinner last night at the hotel. We had the officials there. Nice to see the officials out for dinner the night before the ball game.
Yeah. First down, Washington at their own 37. Barat to Asher. Asher at about the 41. Fred Strickland right now again for a McDonald's game break. Let's return to James Brown at our Fox Television Center.
Marcus Allen sets the all-time rushing TD mark here. Pat adding 1 more on the day as Kansas City drops the Lions to their 6th loss in 7 games. And Pat, the cheerleading story is a good one, utilizing a lot of Bob Stenner and Sandy Grossman's footage.
Utilizing director and producer's footage. 2nd and 6. That's Terry Allen. $14-10.
Yeah, you just had the feeling that Emmitt Smith was either going to not play today or was going to come out and have a big day. You know, and it was one of those things that, you know, didn't come out, and then he's going to put the jersey on, and under that jersey probably has a big S on him. And you know, you knew it was going to be one of those things. It wasn't going to be...
And under the S is a big heart.
Yeah, it wasn't going to be mediocrity. I mean, he wasn't going to come out here and just kind of flop around. He was either not going to come out here, because he has as much pride as any player I've ever known.
3rd and 2. The pass is caught by Jamie Asher, taken down by Kevin Smith. Darren Smith, sorry.
That's the 2nd or 3rd time, if this is not a 1st down, that the Redskins have left the ball short on a 3rd down completed pass.
.424, 3rd quarter.
Motion, number 83 on the offense. Penalty is declined, 4th down.
They decline the penalty, brings up 4th.
Yeah, you see the thing is they don't have the right formation, and then they have they didn't get set up on top.
Yep.
You see, you have to have one guy up and you have to have one guy back. But the guy, when he gets back, it's okay to do it that way, but he has to set for a second.
Kelvin Martin back deep for Dallas. Matt Turk to punt for the Redskins.
Matt Turk will unload one here.
He does. Doesn't turn over. Still a great kick. Fair catch. Ball bounds into the end zone. They'll bring it out to the 20. Smart play by Kelvin Martin. 53-yard punt. They'll move it out to the 20. 14-10 Dallas.
Turkey, chicken, my favorite spaghetti and corn, stuffing, cherry pie, pumpkin pie, potatoes, and tomatoes.
There's got to be some turkey somewhere.
That's the guys in the truck. That was Sandy Grossman and Bob Stunner.
Sure was.
Producer and director.
Going to use some of their footage. Aikman's pass incomplete. Intended for Eric Bjornsson.
You know, an interesting thing, we get back to the Michael Irvin thing, and again, like Ernie Zampese told me before the game, he said that we got a big offensive line, we're a running team, we're not a team that throws every down, but in this league, you have to be able to throw, and you have Troy Aikman, and you have Michael Irvin. You have to do something. Michael Irvin today has only caught one pass for 5 yards, and that was way back in the first quarter.
Early in the game. Aikman's going to have to throw again. He gives to Emmett Smith instead, and Emmett carries the pile up to about the 24. Sherman Williams, I beg your pardon, giving him an arrest.
Well, you know, the guy to run behind is that Larry Allen. I mean, on that one big run that we saw Emmett Smith make, and, you know, Moose Johnston made a good block, and Eric Williams made a good block. But the outstanding block, I think, was Larry Allen. I mean, he just knocked him right out of the hole. We had a picture of it on television. It knocked him right out of the frame.
Right out of the picture.
That's a block when you can knock a guy out of the picture.
Aikman back to throw. Incomplete. No flags intended for Kevin Williams. The ball just floated in there, but good coverage.
Yeah, we were talking about this Redskin defense and how they were eaten up by the run, you know, a few weeks ago by Buffalo, and then a week later by the Arizona Cardinals on the pass. But since that time, they have really played pretty good defense. I mean, run, pass, the whole thing. I mean, their coverage, they've had good coverage. They've blanketed some good receivers. We talked about Irving Fryer. We talked about Jerry Rice. We're talking about Michael Irvin today against these teams. They don't let the big guys make big plays.
Jets kick is short. Brian Mitchell says get away from it. Takes a Cowboy bounce and still rolls down into the Redskin 29, where they'll take over. 3 minutes left to play in the third quarter. Dallas 14 and Washington 10. (14-10) the Cowboys lead the Redskins. That's Michael Westbrook, who was injured early on, bruised his knee, is our information, and won't be back.
Yeah, and then Leslie Shepard, who's his backup, sprained his ankle, and he's in the locker room now. So there's two top left ends aren't in there.
Terry Allen hit by Randall Godfrey, and hit hard by Randall Godfrey, the rookie from Georgia.
You know, here's the whole thing. It all starts right here. You see, they have a man over the guard, both guards in the center, so they're going to press that and make him come up there and then cut back. And then they have the linebackers that are stacked in there taking those two cutback off tackle angles.
Two tight ends for the Redskins now. Brooks goes in motion. Barat. The ball batted down, recovered momentarily by the Redskins, and they scrambled to get it back. They never saw him coming.
That was Shante Carver. Right. He went right around Joe Patton. And as you said, Gus Frerotte didn't feel him coming from the backside. But watch Shante Carver. He's going to be right here, and he's just going to come right around this corner here and get Gus Frerotte. You see, Patton doesn't get him. He just bumps him. Frerotte doesn't feel him coming. Nope. And Carter knows enough to go for that strip. And Shante Carver, you just watch him. See, he comes in. He's not going for Gus Frerotte. He could have went for the sack. He went for the football.
3rd and 10, 3 wide receivers. Perrott back to throw. The blitz is on. Perrott chased again. Tolbert takes him down.
That time it was the same side. It was Broderick Thomas, though, against Joe Patton. They found a guy that they could beat over there. Shante Carver beat Joe Patton on the play. Then they lined up Broderick Thomas on Joe Patton, and he came. The same thing, and he was the first guy there.
They give Tolbert credit for the sack.
Yeah, but here's Broderick Thomas, and he's the guy that's going to make it right there. He gets it. See, he grabs his jersey, and he's the guy that makes him stop, step up, and then Tony Tolbert's there.
That was his 11th sack of the year.
You got to give credit to Broderick Thomas and discredit to Joe Patton.
Good kick again by Turk. Bouncing, still in bounds. Bounces all the way back down to the 25. A minute left in the 3rd quarter.
Someone hit Kelvin Martin. He was getting ready to catch that punt, and someone ran into his right knee. Let's just play. Here's Broderick Thomas on that 3rd down play. You see him coming here, and he just grabs, and he was going for the football, too. He grabbed Gus Frerott's right arm. Gus Frerotte had to step up. There was no way to throw it. And then Tony Tolbert came in and got the sack.
There's what happened to Kelvin Martin. He had his foot stuck in there.
Yeah, he wasn't.
And didn't get it out soon enough.
And he wasn't returning the ball.
No.
And there was a guy being blocked right into his foot and right knee.
Timur Barnes was the Redskin being blocked.
Kelvin Martin walked off that like it was one of those guys stepping on fire. You know, over there in Hawaii where those guys, they put the fire out there and then they go stepping on it. That's what Kelvin Martin looked like.
Well, the fire's still lit. He's still walking on the fire. And Aikman, they're arguing about something.
That is a 5-yard penalty from the previous line of scrimmage, and we'll re-kick it. Number 27 went out of bounds.
Went out of bounds, he did.
Coming in the first to touch it, re-kick.
You see, he can go out of bounds, and that's okay. He can go out of bounds, he can come back in, he can make a tackle, but he can't be the first guy to touch the ball. So if you go out of bounds, then the official throws his hat down, and then if you come in, you can be the second guy to touch the ball, but you can't be the first guy to touch the ball.
And he was, definitely.
See, and that happens to him all the time now. Those outside guys, they get knocked out of bounds, and then they run up outside the boundary for a while, then come back in, and they can make a tackle, but they can't come back in and be the first one to touch the ball. It's like an offensive guy can't run out of bounds and then come back in and catch a pass.
Broderick Thomas.
That was a 55-yard punt by Matt Turk, but you know, again, I heard him say that he doesn't mind that because he uses the same rhythm for the next punt.
And he's gotten to do it twice in this game. Look how big he is.
Look what kind of shirt that he has underneath that. He has I've never seen a player ever wear a collared shirt underneath a jersey.
No, that's a first.
Oh, he's a big guy. I mean, he's too big for that number 1. Now he can let out all his hose here.
Yep.
I mean, because he's going to be right up against that goal line. He will let out all his hose.
We'll check out some of his footage for that cheerleader special. And he does. Chases Kelvin Martin all the way back to the 27-yard line. He jukes away from one, but can't get away from James Jenkins.
There's Leslie Shepard coming back. They say that it was his left ankle, but remember, he also had a hamstring pull. And the way he's walking, that didn't look like an ankle limp to me. That looked like, and I'm no doctor, but that looked like a hamstring limp. Why do people always say that when they say that? I'm no doctor. Everyone knows you're not a doctor.
Sherman Williams outside the 40 to about the 42.
Well, there's some hitting going on down there now. I mean, they're laying some leather out there. It's the way it should be. I mean, those things all year, we talked about a good fit. Thanksgiving Day and football and division rivalry. The Redskins in first place, game ahead of the Cowboys. Cowboys fighting for that, and then some good hit. This is good hitting weather.
2nd and 4. Sherman Williams got 6. Let him try again. He gets the first down. Rich Owens on the bottom of the pile, but the Dallas coaches said they wanted to look at Sherman Williams with the first group. And he's getting a look now with Emmitt Smith having his great contribution earlier today. The blimp is known to be one of the fastest blimps flying. It's been clocked at speeds exceeding 70 miles an hour per hour. And we look forward to seeing the blockbuster blimp at future events right here on Fox Sports. Aikman back to throw. Flag on the play. Kevin Williams made the reception, but a penalty marker down.
You know, you wonder why they're not throwing to Michael Irvin, and I think that one of the things the Cowboys keep lining him up outside, and the Redskins keep rolling to him, and that keeps taking the read off, away from him, so Troy Aikman doesn't even look at him because
illegal use of hands. Number 28 on the defense, hands to the face.
I think that's one of the reasons too. Number 28, Darrell Green's been covering him very closely. Not this time.
Darrell Green over here. He's on Kevin Williams, and you see him get his hand up there. I guess they called that left hand. He said that he jammed it to his face. But see, then I think on the other side, I think you see this is a roll. You see Carter comes up and rolls, then the safety comes in behind here.
Sherman Williams inside the 40 to the 38. Stopped by Harvey. Tell you what, he runs pretty well.
Well, I think that's what they're trying to see, that he'll be, a good change of pace. I mean, he'll be fresh legs and maybe get some stuff to the outside. And I think with Emmitt Smith and what he does and what the Cowboys want to do, I mean, they want to be a type of team that just gashes you with the run. You need more than just one guy doing all the running year after year after year.
Williams again is deep. He gets the handoff again. And picks up only a yard.
But I still think to go with this, that they don't have Jay Novacek, and this passing game has always been based on, if they roll to Michael Irvin, then Troy Aikman goes to his tight end. I mean, that's what he's been doing for years in the passing game, and now they roll to Michael Irvin, and they don't have anyone as a tight end. So they're doing more of this where they just go 3 wide receivers.
3rd and 5. Aikman to throw. Caught by Kevin Williams, first down. Stanley Richard made the stop along with Brian Walker.
And Tom Carter knows that you can't do that. I mean, here's the marker right there. There's the first down marker. You can't give that cushion right there. He knows that. I mean, if it's 3rd down and you see the marker, you got to press that marker. And you see what he does is he lets Kevin Williams have that marker, and he gives him a 4-yard cushion, and you can't do that on 3rd down in a big game in a situation like this.
That makes it 1st and 10. Sherman Williams squirms down to about the 24, picked up 2 or 3. 14-10, Dallas leading, the clock running, 12:25 left to play. With the Redskins.
The Cowboys play this game Thanksgiving Day every year. And, you get a disadvantage with a short week now, but then you get an advantage after the game with a long 10-day period.
That's Sean Gilbert, who's the injured Redskin.
This Fox NFL special is brought to you by Honda, vehicles designed to help simplify your life. By Miller Lite, when you've got the great taste of an ice-cold Miller Lite, life is good. And by 7-Eleven. Oh, thank heaven for 7-Eleven.
Back at Texas Stadium, again a happy Thanksgiving from all of us at Fox. 12:24 left to play in the ball game. 14-10. Dallas over Washington. It's 2nd and 7. Pat Summerall with John Madden. The Cowboys are the Washington 24. Sean Gilbert being helped off the field. He's had an outstanding year for the Redskins, and that's a big, big loss.
I think one of the best moves that the Redskins made in the offseason was getting Sean Gilbert and giving him some strength as a run player and a pass rusher in the middle this year.
William Gaines has taken his place. This is Emmett Smith. He took him on and knocked him backward.
Yeah, I know. I mean, he was there for a while. Emmett Smith was looking for a place to get down. He was going out of bounds. He was doing all those things, and they maybe just saved it for Thanksgiving Day to say, you know, I'm gonna show you. You think Emmett Smith? You know, they have stories where Emmett Smith has run the ball this many times and he's getting beaten up and he signed a big contract and you know he doesn't want to do this and he doesn't want to do that, but
they're trying to parallel his career with that of Earl Campbell.
No, that's not bad. Earl Campbell was one of the all-time greats, but I mean the thing is that he took too many hits, so he had a shortened career.
This is Emmett Smith. First down and more.
You know, one of the guys that he got in behind there that you don't talk enough about on this Dallas Cowboy team is Mark Tuinet.
That's right.
I think if you say, you know, who was an underrated player or maybe the most underrated player on this team over the years and has been so solid for them, it's that guy, Mark Tuinet. You know, and he's a heck of a blocker. I mean, he's a good run blocker, as you see there. I mean, he just takes his guy. I mean, he's so big and strong and powerful, just pushes him right out of the hole. On pass protection, could be their best pass protector.
You ask the other players, and that's exactly what they'll tell you. Eggman gives again to Emmett Smith. And Emmett bangs down to about the 6, stopped by Patton.
Yep, they got him where they want him now, and this is what Nate Newton was telling me yesterday. This is what Ernie Zampese was saying today, that we have to use this group right here. And we just have to pound with them. And I think anytime you talk about that group, you have to put Moose Johnston in there. But did you see Eric Williams' block on that play? The right tackle took his guy over about 5 holes. That was one of the better running blocks I've ever seen. 2nd and 3. Emmett has had his best day of the year. And he's not through yet. He sifted his way through for a first down. There it happened. They got him going now. Like I said, Larry Allen, Eric Williams, they're just taking one punch and just knocking their guys down. I mean, you want to see it, you know, we talk about powerful guys. Just watch this one right here. I mean, he just takes a punch. It's a double. They just knock their guy to the ground and just stand up. And, you know, I mean, that was a double team, but they have taken over the game now with Emmett Smith and his offensive line and Moose Johnston and their power have taken over this game. Now it's Herschel Walker in the backfield with Darrell Johnson, and Moose is hit right at the line of scrimmage and knocked backwards. Yeah, I was talking about how poorly they practiced yesterday. They practiced down on the goal line. They had like 10 plays down here, and they made 8 mistakes. It was always the tight ends making the mistakes, too. Now here comes Emmett Smith back in. Walker goes out, 2nd and goal from the 3. Darrell Johnson's not going to beat you carrying the ball. No. I mean, you're going to carry the ball. It's going to be this guy right here and this guy right here blocking or faking to him and passing it. 2 tight ends. Emmett Smith. Emmett down to about the 2. Clock continues to tick away seconds at 8:25. It'll bring up a 3rd down. And a 3rd down, and they have to get the ball in the end zone on this 3rd down play, because if they don't, they'd have to kick the field goal on 4th down. Larry Allen slow getting up. I mean, he is so powerful. I mean, he's taking one step and one punch and one push. He's one of the most powerful men I've ever seen in a football uniform, Larry Allen. I agree. Smith is deep. Emmett gets the catch. Touchdown, his 3rd. He adds
to his total, up to 108. Just 2 behind the great Walter Payton.
I formation, lead man. Moose Johnston leads. They leave one left for Emmett that they don't block, and he just runs right by him.
O'Neill's extra point is good, and Dallas leads it 21-10.
Look at Eric Williams here. This is all about running the ball and winning.
He's back doing exercises. Sean Gilbert being escorted to the locker room.
You can
Big
see
ice
that
pack around his left knee.
on his left knee. The Redskins are just running out of players.
Yeah.
I mean, it started with Michael Westbrook, and then it went to Leslie Shepard, their other wide receiver, and then they lose Sean Gilbert, their best defensive lineman.
O'Neill's kick is handled by Brian Mitchell. And the special teams do their duty. The Cowboys covered well, and Washington takes over at their own 21. The Cowboys 21, the Redskins 10.
That's our videotape area.
Yep.
That's where they tape everything, and then they cue it up and roll it back, I think. I don't know. Do you have any idea how all that stuff works? I mean, all those buttons and push and cue. And
I've been doing this a long time, and I have absolutely. I don't know how we get on the air.
No, because you can't be 2 places at once. So if you're always up here, you can never be down there. So how would you know?
Here's Farrat back to throw it. Leon Lett right in his face. Coverage good by Deion Sanders. Intended for Brooks. Right now for McDonald's game break. Let's return to James Brown at our Fox Television Center.
Pat, I know you remember the Giants defense forcing 5 Cowboy turnovers last week and upsetting Dallas at the Meadowlands. On Sunday, the Giants travel to Philly to meet Ricky Watters and the Eagles in an NFC East battle with playoff implications and important matchups coming your way Sunday on Fox NFL Sunday. Back to Pat and John.
And we're at Texas Stadium. The Cowboys 21-10 over the Redskins. Farrat has 2nd and 10. Again, he's chased and cut down just as he let it go. Hit from behind by Chad Hennings. Brian Mitchell made the catch. Lett also in on the rush.
Yeah, I think it's interesting, Pat, what Norv Turner was saying, and you can see it today. One of the first things he said is that he said emotionally, he says, we're going to be up. He said, we got a young club, and he said they'll be ready to play, and this is a big game, and we're in first place. He said, but I worry physically. He said, we're just beat up. He said, we're a beaten-up team, and you can see as this game goes, I mean, the players are just going down. He's running out of players.
More beaten up now. Here's Farrat. Incomplete.
I think the thing that really hurt him when you lost Michael Westbrook, because Michael Westbrook was going to be a big part of this game plan. He went out early.
Yep.
Leslie Shepard took his place, and then he went out. They just ran out of wide receiver.
This game is presented by authority of the National Football League. It's intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the expressed written consent of the Dallas Cowboys and the National Football League is prohibited. Turk back to punt.
This guy may have probably the guy at San Diego, Darren Bennett, maybe has a better leg, but this guy probably has the 2nd best leg of all the punters in the league.
He's good.
Whoa! He bulldoged him.
A snatch down.
Watch out! Barnes. You make a bulldog, and they all start hitting you.
Aikman getting the instructions. Dallas up 21-10.
This Fox NFL special is brought to you by American Express and the Charge Against Hunger program. It's another way American Express helps you do more.
If anything's broken, we can fix it, too.
Watch the last play here, Pat. Gus Farrat's hand gets caught right on Leon Lett's helmet. It gets jammed between Leon Lett's helmet and himself, and he hurt his right hand.
Emmitt Smith
Tell you one thing, they gave Emmitt Smith a rest on Tuesday. He didn't even go out to practice. They gave him a rest on Wednesday. Didn't even come outside. They're not giving him a rest today, are they?
He's the 12th player in NFL history to rush for over 10,000 yards. And he is. Perrott seems okay. He banged his hand against Leon Lett's helmet. That's Heath Schuler sitting next to him. But he seems okay.
Gus Perrott has really developed into an accomplished quarterback in this league, and North Turner's trained him well.
2nd and 4. Smith gets up to about the 30. Stopped by Patton. Not a first down.
Yeah, I think we start thinking about our turkey leg awards. You know, we got to give a turkey leg, and then.
I've been thinking about it.
No, I have too. I mean, I think the one guy. Obvious, it's not out here yet. I mean, there's the turkey. It just kind of sits there and wait, and
it's not even lit yet.
No, I know it, but it'll be out. I mean, that platter's way too nice for it. It just sits in the tunnel. It's like the players, you know, before the game. Yeah. They all kind of stand in there, then they run out from the tunnel. The turkey is going to just wait in there and see who gets it, and then boom, bring it out here in the field.
Is he run out? Pass caught by Kelvin Martin, who's wrestled to the ground by Scott Turner. That'll move the sticks.
Now that turkey's not going to run anywhere. That turkey did its last running Tuesday.
Even with 6 legs?
Yeah. It was running then. Boy, that is a heck of a throw by Troy Aikman. Look at Kelvin Martin. He just held on with everything he had to that ball.
He's not a big guy.
You know, it's still something. I mean, I still believe, and I don't mean to beat it to death, but they've only thrown one pass today to Michael Irvin, and Michael Irvin has only caught one pass. That was way back in the first quarter for 5 yards.
Sherman Williams deep. Aikman gives to him. Just a couple.
And I think the Cowboys have proven in this game today, Pat, that their offensive line is back. They're big, they're strong, they're powerful, they're dominant. I think they've proven that Emmitt Smith isn't finished, that he can still run and play in this league, and they can run the ball. I think they've proven that Moose Johnston can block.
They can run.
Yeah, I mean, I think they've proven all those things, and I think they have to get back. I mean, you can't go all the way and be in a one-dimensional team, and maybe it's a tight end thing they need. I'm a big believer that somehow you just can't let them rotate to Michael Irvin and say we can't throw it to him because they're rotating to him.
Out to the 42.
Look, here's the legs. In fact,
wow.
I think it grew some extra ones. I think here's like 2. This may be 3 here. Is that 2?
That's 2.
And there's a couple here. Well, that's 6. That could be 7.
Could be.
Because this was a high-fat diet, low fiber, and high calcium.
Well, it was in the bus a long time. Maybe it grew another leg.
Well, you never know, but it's ready. Here's Leon Lett. He's been under a lot of controversy here this week, talking about that he failed a drug test, and if he did, he'll be suspended for a year. And the rule on that is there's no comment, you know, and no one can say anything.
No story, they say.
I mean, the player can't say anything. The club can't say anything. The league can't say anything. The Players Association can't say anything. And if, as Barry Switzer said, well, if there's anything to it, they'll tell us, and he won't be here. And there's not anything to it, it'll go away.
And no matter what, we still got some games to play. Dallas has rushed for 191 yards, passed for only 46. 3rd and 2. Sherman Williams will have the first down. Or very close to it. He got knocked backwards. Maybe he lost it. Ken Harvey made the hit.
Yeah, we were talking about big offensive lines, and we've seen 2 of the biggest today. You know, we talked about how big the Redskins were and how big and powerful and dominant this Cowboy team are. Look at this. In 1976, there was no 300-pound players in this league, or none that admitted to 300 pounds.
Now, you were coaching at that time.
Yeah, and I know Art Shaw was over 300 pounds. But then in 1986, they had 8. And then in 1996, now they have 179 players over 300 pounds.
That admit to it.
That admit to it, to put it on their program if that's what they want.
Sherman Williams crosses the midfield. into Redskin territory. Rod Stevens made the stop. Today's game is being produced by Bob Stenner, directed by Sandy Grossman. The technical producer is Bob Muller. Technical director is Joe Abedinda. The audio director is Bob Siderman. Associate director Rich Russo. The broadcast associates are Mike Roig and Fran Morrison. Studio produced by Scott Ackerson and directed by Bob Levy. Executive producers of Fox Sports are Ed Gorin and Davey Hill. The Cowboys leading, 2nd and 5. Sherman Williams ducks into the middle, doesn't get much. Mark Boutte.
These are the guys that get us those pictures and get them up and do all the work. And again, on Thanksgiving Day, I think we can be thankful to this great crew and production people and all we have. I mean, it's fun to. There's another guy who's not the sharpest knife in the drawer.
2 minutes remaining at Texas Stadium. Cowboys 21-10 over the Redskins. That was a gun. There comes the famous turkey.
Yeah. Look at these guys. I mean, there's Dave Hahn and Willie Yarbrough. Our 2 drivers, and they drive like this is an official thing. I mean, they walk like it's an official thing.
It is.
Oh, they look like there's some military thing or something. All it is a 6-legged barbecue turkey, a smoked turkey.
Yeah.
This turkey's been smoked. I mean, this turkey, was alive. Started out the North Pole, spent some time in the Continental Divide, came down in one of those trucks, that you drive by and the feathers fly out.
Yeah.
Got down here, and it'll be given to the best players.
Think he's an Aikman fan?
I think, yeah, he is, and a Cowboy fan, and probably can't wait to go home and eat some turkey. Or that's the problem they have with these 3 o'clock games. You come to these games, like all these people here, when do they eat? When do they have this Thanksgiving dinner?
This morning, before they came.
This morning, Thanksgiving dinner?
Mitchell signals fair catch, makes it at the 15. There's Bob Muller, who is behind the technical operation.
Why does he turn and smile like that? He looked better when he was working.
He's thinking about the turkey.
Yeah, but all these people here, you think they had turkey dinner before they came? You think they had dinner in the morning?
I would have.
No, you have breakfast in the morning, lunch, and then dinner at night. I read, they had a big story in the paper here in Dallas about that, not in the sports page, about with a 3 o'clock Cowboy game on when do you have your turkey dinner. And most people have it after the game.
Most people can work it out, I guarantee you that.
But the women don't like it. The women don't like to eat at 7 o'clock at night, and the men do.
Perrott. Pass is caught by Brooks. Over the middle.
Look at this. We talked about the game, how the Cowboys wanted to run the ball. They have more rushing yardage than the Redskins have total yardage today.
But 46 yards passing won't get it done.
See, these kids, I mean, you can give the kids, I mean, they'll fall for that. I mean, like she fell for it and he fell for it. Give them the old drumstick before they come to the game.
You think they care when they eat? You think they care when they eat?
No, they don't. See, but she does right there. So one behind. Grandma and Grandpa, they care. The kids, they don't care so much.
Grandma and Grandpa don't care what the kids do.
Yeah, but Grandma and Grandpa want to eat early. They don't want to be eating dinner at 7 or 8 o'clock at night.
On 2nd down, Perrott to throw. Nothing there. Bill Brooks, the intended receiver.
There was something there early. Kevin Smith finally calmed down. Remember, before the half, he was getting those penalties and they're getting beaten by a couple of pass patterns. They were working on him. And then he kind of calmed down, and the defense kind of calmed down, and the offensive line of the Cowboys took over this game along with Emmitt Smith and Bruce Johnston. Another thing about the turkey leg, you always want to give it to someone who'll take it.
Well, we got some guys who'll take it.
We're talking about that offensive line.
Yeah, they'll take it.
They've never turned down a meal in their lives.
Pass is picked off by Deion Sanders. Dallas ball at midfield.
Now, this is when it's fun for an offensive lineman. You see Nate Newton. He had a big smile.
Yep.
Go put that hat back on. You know you've won the game. You know that you've beaten your guys down. You know that, you know, everything is going your way. You know you got your running game going back. That's the kind of game you wanted to play. They told you we're going to run today, and they did it. And you were able to be a big part of that game. You smile and put your hat on. You're a happy guy.
Larry Allen. Mark Tuinei.
I think Mark Tuinei is probably the most underrated player in this game.
Ray Donaldson, the center.
Ray Donaldson doing this for 17 years.
They'll just run it out. Washington's out of timeouts. Here are the NFC East standings then after this game. Dallas and Washington tied at 8-5. The Eagles at 7-5 can tie those other two if they beat the Giants on Sunday. And Arizona back in the picture also at 6-6.
There's Emmitt Smith. I know in the pregame when we talked about him, I used the word warrior because I know that, remember a game a couple years ago against the Giants at Giant Stadium? Toughest performance I'd ever seen in my life was given by Emmitt Smith. And you knew that he had it in him.
Let's go quickly down to Pam Oliver.
All right, Emmitt Smith, I guess stories of your demise have been greatly exaggerated. What was the difference for you today?
Well, I think the rest helped, and not only that, but the treatment itself, staying off the leg for a while, not practicing on it like I've been doing over the past 4 or 5 weeks, giving this chance to heal really helped out today. And today when I stepped on the field, it felt a whole lot better than it did last week in New York, and everything was better.
The line was blocking for you big time today.
I mean, they've been doing a great job all year long, really. I mean, I just haven't been able to have that extra push that I needed to get through some of the holes, and today everything just worked out for the best.
Is this redemption to some degree for you after being benched last week and all of the speculation about you being just not yourself?
I don't look at it as redemption. I tell you what, playing this game, playing for the team that I play for, and playing for the guys that's on the football field with me, it makes it all special because without them, none of this would have been possible. And, you know, they have confidence in it. Disregard what everybody else have, but them guys right there, they believe in me, and it showed today. They came out, they blocked me behinds off. I was able to stay sharp and cut and do the things that I want to do. Overall, everybody looked good.
Congratulations. Let's go back up to Pat and John.
All right, Pam, thank you very much. Thanks to Emmett. Dale Hellestray, who's done such an unsung job as the long snapper for years for Dallas. Here is today's Miller Lite play of the game. Emmitt Smith's third touchdown, and Emmitt had an outstanding day. He's one of the recipients of the Turkey Leg Award, along with the fullback Moose Johnston and the Dallas offensive line. You'll see that the presentation of the Turkey Leg as part of our pregame show on Sunday. The turkey waits. So for John Madden and Pam Oliver, I'm Pat Summerall saying so long and happy Thanksgiving from Texas Stadium, where the final score was Dallas 21, Washington 10. You've been watching the NFL on Fox Sports, home of Super Bowl number 31.